Have you ever found yourself needing to keep an eye on what's happening on a loved one's iPhone? For safety or just for your own peace of mind. It's something a lot of parents think about, especially with kids navigating the whole digital world. Well, today we're going to break down how one of the most popular tools for this, called mSpy, actually works on an iPhone.
Yeah, it's a pretty direct question, right? But it really gets to the core of why people even start looking for these kinds of tools. In our super connected world, just knowing what's going on can feel absolutely crucial for keeping people safe. So let's dive in and see how something like this actually functions.
All right, let's get right into it. The tool we're focusing on today is mSpy. You've probably heard the name. It's a big player in mobile monitoring. So we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how you'd use it to keep tabs on an iPhone. So what is mSpy really? Well, think of it kind of like a remote dashboard for a phone's activity. It's designed to track a whole range of data, not just the simple stuff like calls and texts. We're talking GPS location, the websites they visit, and even what's happening in their social media apps. It basically gives you a really detailed look at their digital life. Okay, so mSpy actually gives you a few different ways to monitor an iPhone, and each one offers a different level of detail. We're going to start with the most straightforward approach, the iCloud method. This is usually the starting point for most people because it's designed to be as easy as possible.
The process here is actually surprisingly simple. First, you sign up for mSpy. Then from your own online dashboard, you just type in the iCloud email and password for the iPhone you want to monitor. Apple will send a 6-digit code to their phone for security. You'll need to get that code just one time and plug it in. And that's it. You're linked. You don't have to install any software on their phone, and you don't need to physically touch it again.
So what kind of info does this simple method get you? Well, you get a really solid high-level view. You can see who's being added to their contacts, check out what photos they're taking, and even see their calendar plans. It's a clean, pretty non-invasive way to just get a general feel for the phone's activity. Perfect if your concerns are a bit more general.
But what if those basics just aren't cutting it? For a much more detailed picture, mSpy has another option called the Wi-Fi method. Now this one takes a little more setup, but as you'll see, it unlocks a whole different level of information. So here's how this one works. First, you install a little program from mSpy onto your Mac or your PC. Then, you connect the iPhone to that computer with a USB cable, but just once. That's just to establish a trusted connection. After that initial setup, the real magic happens over Wi-Fi. Anytime the iPhone is on the same Wi-Fi network as your computer, it automatically backs up its data, and that info gets sent right to your mSpy dashboard.
And this is where you see the real power of the Wi-Fi method. You're getting way more than just the basic stuff. We're talking detailed call logs, videos, and this is the big one, messages from third-party apps like WhatsApp, Line, and Viber. This is a huge step up in detail, especially if you're worried about social media chats. So it really boils down to a simple trade-off. The iCloud method is all about ease. You just need those login details and you're in. The Wi-Fi method, on the other hand, needs that one-time physical connection and a small app on your computer, but the payoff is much, much deeper access, especially when it comes to those messaging apps. Now, for anyone who needs the absolute highest level of monitoring possible, there's a third option. This is the most powerful one, but it's also the most technical, the jailbreak method. Okay, so this method has one really big requirement. The iPhone has to be jailbroken. If you haven't heard that term, it basically means using special software to get around the strict limitations Apple builds into its operating system. It's definitely a technical process and it's not for everyone, but doing it allows apps like mSpy to tap into the phone's core functions in a way that's normally impossible. And the features you get with this are pretty incredible. You unlock powerful tools like real-time GPS tracking, so you can see the phone's exact location on a map anytime. You can even set up what's called geofences. These are like virtual boundaries around a school or a neighborhood, and you'll get an alert on your phone whenever the iPhone goes into or leaves one of those areas. For parents, this is often the game-changing feature they're looking for. Of course, the big question with any service like this is, what's it going to cost? So let's take a quick look at the subscription plans that mSpy offers. The pricing is pretty straightforward. The longer you sign up for, the cheaper it gets per month. If you just want 1 month, it'll run you about $48. Go for a 3-month plan, and that price drops to about $28 a month. But the best deal, by far, is the yearly plan. That brings the cost all the way down to about $11 a month, making it the best bet for long-term monitoring.
So to wrap it all up, this quote from our source material really says it all. mSpy is considered one of the top tools out there because it's packed with features, it's dependable, and it has good customer support. It's not really a one-size-fits-all thing. It offers a whole spectrum of options designed to fit whatever you might need. So after looking at all the different ways to do this, from the simple iCloud method to the deeper data you get with the Wi-Fi method and all the way to the powerful control of the jailbreak option, it really all comes down to this one question. The right choice completely depends on what you're trying to accomplish and what level of information actually fits your needs.